Does working hard truly guarantee success? Something that's been on my mind in the last couple of weeks here, as I've been playing around with my schedule. Work's been kind of busy, and I haven't really put as much time into the free time that I do have. So, I'm finally kind of able to sit down and kind of articulate some of these things that have been on my mind to you guys. And it's about hard work. And is it all you need to really take you far? Can hard work take you far? And the short and skinny on it, in my opinion, is absolutely. I think we're at a point in society where you're looking around at the landscape of the jobs that are available, and a lot of people are asking themselves, well, why can't find the right candidates? And I think the right candidates are out there. I do think there's a lot of individuals out there that are not necessarily afraid of hard work. It's really hard to pinpoint exactly why. It's hard for some individuals to fulfill those jobs. Obviously, now more than ever because of inflation, people are looking to make more money. Also, the landscape of where we're at from a social media standpoint, there's literally, and not just social media, I think just in general, there's so many different opportunities out there for individuals. And the unfortunate reality about some of this stuff too, is it's really perpetuated by a lot of these. I'll bring up social media again, just because, although I don't think that's the only reason, I think it's a very important statement to make, is because of the entrepreneurial spirit that's out there and so many people making money online through TikTok and Instagram and all these various resources and avenues to make money. There's not a whole lot of hard work that goes into it. Now, am I saying that there's no required hard work that goes into, entrepreneurship is hard. It's absolutely hard. I think when you're going to make money online, there's a picture being painted by individuals who maybe have made a little bit of money, and to the individuals that are susceptible to, maybe spending a quick $1,000 or, $9.99 or $4.99, whatever it is on that program, on that coaching program, on that course, that's supposed to teach you how to make your first $1 million off TikTok, or your first $10,000 a month doing X, Y, and Z. Again, I'm not saying that none of this stuff worked, but I'm just saying from an open-minded standpoint, it seems to me, in my most humble opinion, that this is definitely dictating some things in society today, especially American society. I don't know exactly what, how some of these other countries fare with that stuff, but social media is ablaze right now. And there's no denying its opportunity, but two, I think it's really convoluting some of the things that, Americans have, stood on. And that's a lot of it's blue collar type stuff, the trade schools, which they're making a comeback. But back to that point is, I think when you look at that landscape, I think it really plays a role, because people are more confused than ever. What do I do? Oh, I want to make $10,000. Sounds really great. Why would I go work at McDonald's, or why would I go work at a gym, or why would I go work for Amazon, or why would I go work for X, Y, and Z? Uline, there's a lot of big corporations out there that actually do, offer a lot of money, but require a lot of hard work. You're talking about, putting in extensive hours, more than 40 hours in most cases. So I think when you look at it from that lens, people have way more options than ever before. Back in the day, it was you got really a couple options. You either potentially go to college and you get your 4-year degree, and then you hope that certificate, that piece of paper, that diploma can get you somewhere. And usually it's entry level. So that kind of gets you into the door in whatever career path you're doing. Secondarily, maybe it was a trade school or something like that. So I think a lot of that stuff it's just different now. So when you're looking at hard work and why some of these things are maybe harder than what they used to be, I think a lot of employers are maybe blaming these generations for it. And I'm not, definitely not advocating for, people to get all up in arms about the fact that maybe they aren't working it. And that maybe they're not working as hard, or maybe they lack direction. And I've explained this in some previous videos for myself, and I'll always talk about my experience specifically and how it relates to some of these topics that I'm trying to convey to you guys. Is, listen, I didn't have any direction when I was growing up, and maybe if I had, I would have been a little bit more strict and disciplined in the thing that I'm actually trying to do. So when you have that thing set in place, whatever it is, that goal, that career path, I think it's pretty easy. I went to college. I went to college for 2 years, and when you have that thing that you're striving for, especially as it relates to college, and this is what I'm going for, I think it's pretty easy to apply hard work to that. And so, as I mentioned before as well in other previous videos, is I think no matter what you do, you can apply hard work to it, and you will build skill sets from that. And you may look at the current landscape of your own life and say, well, Josh, I'm just a burger flipper, or I'm just a janitor, or maybe I'm just a front desk associate at a hotel or a gym. Listen, I hear you. I've been there before. Almost all those jobs that I've just explained to you guys I've done. And, I'm not a unicorn. I'm not the only person that tries to find the good in some things. And I do think that it's an undervalued skill, and that is finding the things that you can actually obtain a skill set in these jobs and grow from it and pursue personal growth on a level that really pushes you into a whole nother stratosphere. Now, on the topic of, does working hard truly guarantee success? Working hard in it itself can most certainly push you down that path. Is it the only way to guarantee success? Absolutely not. I think it's definitely a prerequisite. You got to work hard in order to get yourself down that path. Conversely, the counterpart to working hard obviously is, working smart. That old phrase of work smarter, not harder, there is some validity to that. You can't just put your head down for years and years and years without any sort of thought into what I'm doing. So there's certainly careers out there that really don't require a whole lot of extracurricular thought processes. And I'm not attacking anybody's career. I just think when you look at that from a objective standpoint, maybe a construction worker or something like that, a garbage man, some of these blue collar jobs, because they make pretty good money. If you're working for the city, stuff like that, you get good benefits, you're part of the union. So that's a great job. I'm not downplaying that at all. I think they're very important jobs, just like almost every job that a society can have. But I think when you look at it from a work smarter standpoint, that really is all gas, no brakes, as the kids say today. And so when you've got to work hard at that thing, but I think the monotony of the job and sort of just maybe the working smarter type of thing can go to the wayside a little. Not to say that there's no case for that to be had. I think you should always be looking at it from that mindset that hey, how can I do X, Y, and Z to make my day a little bit easier? So again, I'm just throwing vague examples out there for you guys. Don't attack me. I'm not attacking anyone's career. I think everything is super important. And if you're passionate about it, that's where hard work comes in. You should be dedicated to your job every single day. But again, as I mentioned, I think there's just so many options out there that people really look at it, especially the younger generations coming up. They're seeing these social media stars, they're seeing these influencers, and there's so much influence out there that's trying to pull your attention away. And, and really in most cases, you want to get paid for that. So these people are making, a decent amount of money, and they're flashing their fancy cars and, all this stuff. But at the end of the day, I think personally working hard can take you far. It's not going to take you all the way. I do believe that if you can apply some working smarter techniques, then you'll really couple those two skill sets together and really push your personal development down the road much further, much faster, and it really solidify you in your own mind. This is working. You know what I mean? Because I've been in that situation before where it's man, I'm really working hard, but I don't feel like I'm really getting anywhere, or I'm not getting as far as I should be. And that can be damning to our confidence in what we're trying to achieve. I think obviously from a hard work perspective, you're building discipline, you're building persistence, you're building a lot of skill sets that you can apply into so many other areas of your life. So it's very important. Off of that, right, some of the things that can really limit your hard work in pursuant to whatever goal, whatever job you're going after, whatever it is that hard work you're applying it to, there's some things you need to caution yourself on, right? Obviously just applying hard work to something can lead to burnout. It can lead to limited progress from a specific standpoint, in meaning you're just going to be plucking away at something without really putting a whole lot of strategic thinking behind it. So I think it's very important to highlight that. You need to recognize that, you're not just going to put the hammer to the grindstone for, 365, 24/7. You're going to find yourself in a situation where you're going to want to quit. You're going to feel overwhelmed. The stress is going to build up, and you're not going to have you're going to feel like it's a complete lack of direction, because you're not going to have anything that's to stand on if your hard work begins to falter or begins to make you feel like you're not making any progress. The one thing that I like to say all the time that I hear a lot that really makes me feel really great about kind of this topic that we're talking about is, don't know who really said it. Maybe Kobe Bryant reverberated this statement from someone else. That's where I heard it from, but it's the statement of not how many hours you put in, it's what you put in the hours. And so in layman terms, it's, all right, I've got 45 minutes. I'm giving that everything I have. Whereas someone might say, I'm going to the gym for 2 hours. Okay, well, exactly what are you achieving in that 2 hours? You know what I mean? It's if you're just going there and saying, well, maybe I'm going to do some chest, maybe I'm going to do some legs, maybe I'm going to throw in some shoulders, throw in some triceps, so on and so forth. And you spend 2 hours. I think from the outside looking in, that person's like, oh, wow, you spend 2 hours at the gym, but your physique doesn't really change a whole lot. You're not really dropping a whole lot of weight. What are you doing? It's something to look at from an objective standpoint. You got to ask yourself, am I really pushing the needle forward on that? So that's something, again, in the limits of hard work, I think is very important to highlight. So this concept of working smarter really applies to hard work in ways that really improve direction and efficiency in what you're doing. I think that's very important to this whole idea around, does hard work really make you successful? Does it make or break your success? You can't really push the needle forward without having some sort of direction and finding efficiency in everything you do. Another thing I want to highlight, guys, is really when you're looking at the scope of what you're trying to achieve, continuous learning is really going to be a huge contributing factor to making sure that you're using your hard work to its maximum effectiveness. If you find yourself in situations where there's no other opportunities for growth, maybe it's time to look at something that really can offer you more. When I was recently going through a career change, I left a job that I was making really decent money for my situation in life. And I'm an account manager now. So this account manager position opened up, and the company itself did some research on it. I just found that I can use the skills that I currently have that I've built up and apply them in a very strategic manner and continue to blossom and build my career from that standpoint. There weren't a whole lot of opportunities at the time where I felt like I could really get into this organization and make a difference. And so, applying this hard work for almost seven months now, I went from a very short period of time. I went from just an account manager and then into the lead account manager position. And, my goal is to always try to strive for more and more, not from a selfish standpoint, just I want to make more money, not just, for the lifestyle that we've built, my wife and I and my daughter. I want to give my daughter and my family a life that I never had growing up, so on and so forth. So, and it really is just about being the absolute best person you can be. Personal excellence is the ultimate rebellion. And when you think about that statement that Andy Frisella talks about all the time, shout out to Andy Frisella, you got to become the best version of yourself in order to continue to push yourself forward in your goals and your ambitions. And you want to make a difference to society. That's why I love making these videos. And, I'm super grateful, to all of you that have recently subscribed. It's been wonderful to see. It's something that when you're going through this, you don't really think that, more than a couple people are watching these videos. And so my hope is that you guys watch these videos and you take something out of it and really apply it to your lives. And on top of that, you don't just apply it to yourselves, you go out and make a difference in other people's lives. And then if we can all do that as a collective, I think we make our society, we build it back up to where it's been before. And maybe it's never been to its maximum capacity of what we're actually capable to achieve. I don't know if we'll ever be able to do that as human beings. Not to say there's limitations, but I just think who knows what's going to happen, right? So, but we can control what we can control, and what we can control is ourselves, how we attack our career paths using hard work and strategic thinking and applying all these into one little specific skill set. And then relentlessly pursue whatever it is that you're trying to pursue. Relentlessly pursue hard work, love, dedication to your career, dedication to your family, your loved ones, everyone that means so much to you. And then take that and roll it over and apply it to, your counterparts, your neighbors, get into your local community. And then the hope is that they start to do that stuff. So we're spreading that throughout society in the most simplest way, and it's often overlooked, and it's undervalued in my estimation, because it's the only way we can ever really get our country back to its rightful place in terms of where we want it to be. We don't want to be we want to be powerful for the world, but we also want to be powerful for ourselves. We don't want to have to worry about like all these things that we have to worry about in today's society. I don't want to go down that rabbit hole, but in general, all these things apply to each other, and we help each other build the country that we want to live in and become the people that we're trying to be through some of these simple tactics. All right, so as we begin to close out this video, I want to provide you guys with some actionable steps, and 3 or 4 of them that I think really made a difference in my life that I hope you guys can take, give them a shot and see how you feel about them. But number 1 is basically to be adaptable, right? Resilience, all these things are going to play a critical role in your lives. And when you face obstacles, when you face challenges, you want to be able to be adaptable and be resilient enough to overcome them. Life is going to slap you in the face. You're going to work really hard at something. You're going to apply all this strategic thinking, and you're going to run into a wall. And the key is to not just, on the topic of the video, not just to consistently slam your head against the wall and then, change nothing and then expect a different result, right? That's the definition of insanity. So, you want to be very adaptable and then just take things as they come. Next one I want to talk to you guys about is really plan and prioritize. So obviously in the basic components of strategic thinking and hard work, plan and prioritize exactly how you're going to do that. And then you can kind of throw in maybe set clear and achievable goals and kind of combine those together. But you got to plan and prioritize. As I've shown several times. I keep track of most of the things I do on a daily basis. This one here at work, before I end my day, I'm looking at the landscape and my tasks, writing them down, using Outlook's resources, so you can also use technology to your advantage. The phone it's not just a method to call your family members, your wife, your husbands, whatever the case. It's also not just a piece of electronic that allows you to play games, so on and so forth. It can be a resource and a tool if you use it appropriately. You can use it to take notes. There's a lot of apps on there for productivity. So a lot of stuff that you can utilize technology to help you plan and prioritize, and then setting clear and attainable goals. I personally like writing it down. I think it cements in my mind a little bit better. But again, use your resources to your advantage. Use your phone to download these apps and put it on, just get it down so that you can actually begin to cross those things off as you achieve them and help you push you towards that goal. All right, guys, so I think we can all gather that the true formula to success is really the balance between hard work and working smart, right? We want to couple these things together to really make a difference in our lives. And, you want to apply all these things, all these tips together to really push the needle forward for you, your personal growth and your career path and whatever it is you're trying to achieve, really make the ultimate difference in your life and continue to build that skill set. And in addition to doing that, you'll help change someone's life and they'll help change someone else's life. And then we can kind of change the culture around hard work and working smarter and make it so it's much less of a stressful thing to think about, rather than just like, wait, we don't have a lot of people working hard out there. I can't find X, Y, and Z person to come and do the job for me. If we start really helping our neighbors out and applying these things to ourselves and then spreading that to other people, will make all the difference in the world, and we'll really turn this thing around for our country and our young ones and our daughters and our sons and our, everybody that really can help contribute to making this thing called life much more meaningful for everyone. So I just want to thank you everyone for watching. Again, my sincere gratitude for all you guys that are recent subscribers. Let me know down in the comments below what your thoughts on hard work is and kind of maybe how you apply them to your life and some of the stuff that you've been through that have made all the difference in addition to the tips I provided here. If you like the video, hit like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one.